This episode is brought to you by Communications Training for Coffee Teams, a new Map It Forward workshop tailored to get your team communicating more confidently to improve general mental health as well as business profitability. Click the link in the show notes for further details. Welcome to the Daily Coffee Pro by Map It Forward, friends. I'm your host, Lee Safar, and this is episode 5 of our 5-part series, our final episode of the series with Abby Muñoz from Monarch Coffee Farms. Abby, as a client of mine, you are well versed with my question that I always ask when we start something new. What does success look like at the end of this process or project or meeting or whatever? So we want to identify what success looks like for Monarch Coffee Farms for this internship. And we want to talk about applicants being able to understand how to approach this question, because this is going to be asked of them during the interview process. So what are the success markers for Monarch for this internship?
Well, I think it's pretty obvious. Like the number one success marker would be to get this harvest completed, right?
Yep.
To get the most out of my harvest as possible.
Mm-hmm.
That we can have the highest potential of yield to be able to offer to our clients. And I would just be shouting from the rooftops if we could finish the harvest this year with a little less stress surrounding coffee pickers, where they're going to come from, are they going to show up, right? Like all of those things. So I would say that's my number one success marker, is getting harvest completed with a little less stress surrounding, less drama surrounding coffee pickers. And, a second success marker would be that coffee professionals and enthusiasts can come to the farm and leave with this greater knowledge about coffee and how it is grown and how really, really complex it is. It's not just throwing out some corn seed and going out. I mean, I don't think that's what corn farmers are doing, right? But it's a little different than any other kind of agriculture that's grown. And so if I would, again, feel that it was a success if people can leave here with just this greater knowledge, right? We talk often about this 20-year vision plan for us, and I see this really great need within our industry to have a place. You and I talk about it as being like a sanctuary place, but a place where people can come and safely learn more about coffee. Right. So we're a teaching farm. People get to come here to learn, and that's my hope.
And so it sounds like you have 2 success markers, to summarize that. One is to get the harvest completed and completed well with as much harmony as you can.
Flow.
Love that word. And the second part is to connect it back to your long-term vision for the business, which is, an education center from seed to cup for people who want to learn about coffee in a professional sense, but also for consumers who want to learn about coffee. And that's what you do with the farm tours for consumers so that they get that education. But you're building this business out over the next 20 years to be really focused on every aspect of the coffee value chain, from a production perspective, a roasting perspective, a business perspective, a professional perspective, scientific with sensory and all of that. Like, this is the long-term vision of Monarch, and this internship is one part of feeding into that long-term vision, which is why it's an integral part every year of this program, right?
Right. Yeah.
So when somebody is looking to apply for this internship, how do you want them to approach understanding what their success markers are?
Oh my gosh, that's a good question. Um,
Do you want them to have success markers, or is it just, hey, I'm interested in coffee and I need a
so,
job? Right. So what is it that you want?
right, like if we don't have a map, right? We don't know where we're going. That's kind of funny, map it forward. Right? We don't know where we're going, right? We're not looking to invite people to come for this. We call it holo holo in Hawaiian, which is where you just like kind of go where the road takes you,
Very
right?
chill.
You're looking for people who are looking for a road that ends with coffee knowledge at the final destination. But people need to come with what that knowledge, what they're expecting to learn, so that we can
Mm.
come together to make that happen.
And so I guess it's really important for people to have, uh, you know, when they come to interview, let's say people make the decision to apply, it's going to be really important for them to understand that when they come to that interview process, that they have a clear understanding of what does success look like for me at the end of this internship? What is it that I want to say that I have walked away with? Knowing that I'm going to be on a coffee farm, I'm going to be participating. It's a really important question for you to at least ponder. And you may not know the final answer, but it is important for you to be able to have a conversation about that, right?
And maybe the final, maybe you don't know what it is. Maybe this intern is thinking, like maybe that it's about a journey,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like, and each of our journey is different. Maybe it's about, right, like sustainable farming, and they are realizing or understanding agriculture more, right? Like, it doesn't have to be that because you want to become a barista or a roaster. Like, when we think about what the final step is to that crop, um, I'm not saying that that has to be everybody's end place, like success marker.
Mm-hmm. But some sort of clarity about what you want to walk away with.
Well,
Um,
clarity, that's
Clarity. It's a value of Monarch.
our value,
Yeah.
right? And so when you come to something, applying for an internship or a job, or like, if we're not clear, then we're not going to have flow, and
Right.
it's going to do you good and it's not going to do me good.
Which is why we need to understand what everybody's success markers are so that we know where we're all trying to arrive to, and there's constant check-ins that are happening so that people are actually on track to arrive there. And just very quickly before we wrap up this series, who shouldn't apply?
Oh my gosh.
Like, should somebody who doesn't value punctuality, not punctuation, sorry. If somebody like isn't punctual, should they think of applying? No. Okay.
Right. We are looking for people who value follow through, integrity. We are not looking for surfs up kind of
Yeah.
mentality. Waves are up, we're not coming to work kind of mentality. We are looking for people who value communication.
Mm-hmm.
They need to effective communicators, right? So if you can't effectively communicate or express a success marker, what you hope to gain from that, I would tend to lean to think that that might not be the right place, right? Like,
Right.
you need to be able to, and people who are easily overwhelmed by big ideas and big thinkers and doers, right? That's who we are, right?
Mm.
And so, I mean, I don't know. I hope I'm communicating that well.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, the whole internship that we're offering here it's a big idea. So this isn't something for somebody who just wants to chill. And
Summer, this
this
isn't summer
is not
camp.
summer camp. It's not Girl Scouts. It's not, no, this is a working internship, and you will work and you will get paid for it. You will learn a lot. You will be appreciated for that. You will be respected. We should mention that the dorms it's a dorm, isn't it?
Um,
How many rooms in the accommodation?
2 with bunk sleeping, right? So you're co-sleeping. If you need private housing or private sleeping spaces, we're gonna have to have a conversation about that, and that obviously changes the dynamics of
Right.
pricing and availability, right? So, or we can redirect to some other options.
Yeah, perfect. Okay. Abby, thank you for doing this series. Everyone, if you are interested in applying, check the show notes for the link. Abby, do you want to sign us off for the episode, for the series?
Thank you for having me once again. I love it.
My
I
pleasure.
always love it together. Peace, love, and peanut butter, everyone. Have a super fantastic week.
Yay. Bye, everyone. Thanks for tuning in, friends. There are 2 ways you can support this podcast. Firstly, become a paid member of our YouTube channel. Secondly, you can join our Patreon for as little as $3 a month. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video before you leave, and check the show notes for more information. Now, this is what you should check out next.